Welcome to The Whole Pineapple. I'm Ruby Boris.
And I'm Ann Judge. The Whole Pineapple is a podcast about wellness focused around fertility. And on these weekly mini episodes, we bring you bite-sized ideas for you to snack on.
Like breathing exercises, book reviews. Maybe we'll review some scientific research, or we'll share some wellness and fertility stories from our listeners.
So if you're looking for a tip or a trick related to your fertility and well-being, then you've come to the right place.
Let's dig in.
Welcome back to The Whole Pineapple. I'm Ann Judge, and we are here again with Jamie Mammenga for another mindful moment with Jamie. We are so grateful again, Jamie, that you are spending your time with us. These are some of my favorite episodes, and I think they are so helpful on so many different topic areas. And thank you again for coming back to talk with us.
Thanks again for having me. I love it.
Well, we've done a few episodes recently where we've talked about pelvic pain, and that's what made us think maybe we should see what your thoughts are. In our practice, we're often thinking about treatment of pain, like are there surgeries, are there medications, what can we do to make the pain go away? But there are some scenarios where we can't make it completely go away. You know, there are some conditions that people are having to find a way to, manage what is a really tough situation. And I thought it'd be interesting to talk with you a little bit about coping techniques, things that you've used with patients, any ideas that you really have when people are dealing with a tough situation of chronic pain.
Chronic pain is really hard. And as somebody who has suffered with it myself, with a history of endometriosis and a variety of other issues in my reproductive system that cause pain, it's really challenging. And it's so hard when it doesn't just go away and when it is chronic in nature and there isn't always treatment for it. So I think finding ways to cope with it, to make space for it, I think oftentimes we're really trying to make our experience different than it is right now as humans. And that's not always possible. And sometimes we need to just be present with what our experience is in this moment, even if that is pain, right? And sometimes when we want to push things away so bad and we have emotions that get attached to that pain that are difficult, it can make us tighten up and actually increase pain. So learning to relax around the pain and make some space for it can be really helpful.
I'm sure there's so many emotions because one of the challenges when we're talking about chronic pain, especially something like endometriosis, is that these are often hidden sources of pain. The typical picture is someone that had to go through often years and multiple providers and, go through a lot of painful testing to try and even get a diagnosis. And so I'm sure that brings up just a lot of anger as well as anxiety and sadness. I mean, there must be so many different things that come up, let alone the physical sensations.
Yeah, I think that the pain always is accompanied by emotions in various forms, and those emotions can even shift and change depending on where we are in our pain, and that can be just challenging in its own right. I think fear, sadness, frustration, disappointment, anger, like you mentioned, all of those things can come up around pain quite easily. And I think it actually speaks to the fact that we all have sort of stories that accompany our pain as well. Like we have a history, like you just alluded to, with this of, finding support and help and, finding answers. But we also have a story about what the pain means for us.
And what do you mean by that? Give me an example of a story.
With my endometriosis and, subsequent infertility, the pain was a reminder of my infertility. And so those two things were sort of inextricably linked in my body and my mind. So when I would start to feel the pain, I had a lot of automatic thoughts that would come into my mind about it. And I had sort of a narrative about what that pain meant. Maybe that pain meant that I felt broken or that I felt different than I thought I should feel in my 20s or 30s, that I felt like my body was failing me or betraying me. I think that there's all kinds of things that we can attach to pain and what it means for us. I worried about my future, both with the pain and what it meant. And could there be something more dangerous than I even know? Because it took me so long to find this answer. Could it be something even more that I'm not aware of? And then what does it mean for my future family building?
So how do you try and change that story? Is it just being aware of it part of it? 'Cause so many times these things are just like flitting around in the back of our mind and we're not even like consciously focusing on them, especially when you're distracted by physical sensations of pain.
The first step for me is always sort of noticing the emotion that's coming up around it, because the thoughts and feelings have a tendency to sort of loop around one another and be triggered by one another. And so sometimes I would just be kind of stuck in the feeling of, feeling sorry for myself, sort of, really frustrated that I'm in this situation. But then once I noticed that I was having these feelings, then I could kind of, stop myself and be like, okay, wait, what are the thoughts that I'm having around this? My body feels broken, right? Okay, well, wait a minute. Is my body actually broken, or is it something different? Like maybe my body needs some support right now. Maybe it's not broken. And so that allowed me to kind of be more aware of those thoughts and how I might be able to shift and adjust them. And by shifting it to like, oh, maybe my body needs some support right now. Maybe instead of pushing this pain away, I need to care for this. Like my body needs care and I need care right now. And that helps shift my emotions around it too, to one of compassion.
I've had not even just related to pain, but so many things with infertility. I've read where they talk about, imagine if it was like your really close friend going through this instead of you, and like think about how kind you would be to your friend and how you'd be like, of course you don't need to just tough it out today. Oh my gosh, you're not feeling good. How can I help you? Like you would have all this love and understanding for a friend that you don't give yourself, that you somehow expect to yourself to just, push these emotions down inside, just get about your day. And it's sad that we don't have as much compassion and love for ourselves as we have for others.
Yeah.
Any other tips or things that you found helpful? I know it's tough. Like this is a tough thing to talk about because you wish there was like the magic answer, the magic meditation, the magic medication. It's a process, right? And no one's going to instantly find what works best for them. But I think you're right, thinking about where can you look for these patterns and find a way to be kind to yourself and focus on how the emotions are linked to the physical, I think is something we don't do often enough in many aspects of life.
Yeah, I think that's true. It's always a work in progress. I think, again, just recognizing that when you are stressed by something, when we're stressed, we have a tendency to tense up, and that's going to potentially make pain worse. And so if we can find ways to relax our minds, relax our bodies, treat ourselves with compassion, give the pain some space, when we're trying to push things away in emotions too, right? When I think of pushing emotion away and pushing it down, like you talked about, to get on with our day, what comes up for me is like having the faucet on full blast and sticking your palm up against it to try to stop the water. And what that does is it just makes it seem so much more chaotic and out of your control, because now it's making a mess everywhere. Yeah. Whereas if we can kind of like, if you imagine like pulling your hands down and sort of like forming a cup, pulling them down from the faucet and giving it a little bit of space, like we haven't changed the pressure of the water or the amount of water, but suddenly we've changed how we're interacting with it. And so it can fill up our hands and spill over the sides. And it doesn't feel so out of control or chaotic anymore. And I think that's what we want to do with our pain and our emotions around pain. Sometimes when we give them space and some compassion and understanding that they're there and not beating ourselves up about it, then, it can take some of the pain away and take some of the tension out of it and our tightness around it away. So, even offering phrases like, you're welcome here. There is space for you. Or can I welcome you with some compassion? We don't often want to welcome our pain into, but it's here whether we want it here or not. So we might as well find a way that we can, interact with it differently.
Mm-hmm. I think that's so well said. And any listeners dealing with this stuff, obviously talk with your provider. We want to make sure we're doing every possible intervention in terms of dealing with physical pain. I don't want you to say like we're saying you should just be focusing on meditations, but there are realities where certain people are going to continue to struggle with challenging things. So see what you can do with your medical care team, but also hopefully what Jamie's going to lead us through next can give you some other ideas. Thank you again, Jamie. I'll go quiet and let you do your thing.
I'm so pleased to be able to guide you through a meditation that I hope will help you create a safe place. Chronic pain can be very hard to handle, but many times when we create a mental image of our suffering, we tend to aggravate this pain, and that increases it. Then every time we feel this sensation, we'll have a negative thought attached to it on a conscious or subconscious level like we discussed. What this meditation will teach you are techniques to change the mental image that has been created from this pain, and instead implement a more peaceful association with pleasant visualizations that create a warmer bonding between you and your body's sensations. This allows you to accept and allow instead of fight and push away. So please make sure you're in a very comfortable position. Sit down or lay down if that feels good for you. However you need to position yourself so that none of your muscles are activated or tense. Every part of your body can rest and feel completely relaxed during this meditation. Begin by taking 5 deep breaths to relax even more. Full breath in and let it go. Fully inhale and exhale. Breathe in as much as you can where it still feels comfortable. And let it go. Feeling a wave of relaxation come over you. And inhale deeply. And exhale, feeling invigorated. Last one, fully inhale. And exhale, feeling any tension loosen up and feeling your body extremely relaxed. And just allow your breath to slow and flow naturally now. Don't try to change anything about it. Just notice the calmness that these 5 breaths gifted you. Notice how your body breathes without you doing anything at all. Begin to feel any sensations that you associate with your pain. Bring these sensations into your awareness and allow the feelings to multiply. You are completely safe and secure. It is okay to allow these sensations to arise. They will not harm you. Put all of your focus on these areas. Really feel their exact position and the quality of the sensations. What is the pain like for you? Is it stinging, tingling, burning, throbbing, sharp? Perhaps it's like something else. In your mind, describe every detail and then sit with it. Be entirely with it while it presents itself. Don't do anything about it except feel it. Allow the sensations to grow and don't stop them. Just see what they do as an observer. Notice the details of changes the sensations make. You're doing so well. Now, switch your focus and bring into your mind's eye a visual of a place you love to go or have been to that is very serene and peaceful for you. It could be an imaginary place, like on top of a gorgeous mountain or somewhere you frequently go, like a nearby path in nature. Your favorite place could be as simple as your warm, cozy bed. Wherever this place is for you, see it vividly right now. Start by visualizing all the physical aspects of this place. Where are you? What do you see when you look up? If you're outside, it could be the sky. If you're in a safe room somewhere, it could be the ceiling. Just notice everything you see when you look up. Now, look down and at your feet. What does the ground look like below you? Gaze all around this favorite place of yours, making the colors bright and vivid. Make out even more details now, like the leaves on the trees and plants, or the things that are placed around the room. Do you notice any patterns anywhere? They could be patterns in nature, like the way things grow, or the pattern of fabrics and objects in a room. Notice every pattern you can find in great detail. The more details you can imagine, the better. How dark or light is it? What time of day do you think it is? And make a judgment about the placement of the sun in the sky. Which way is the light of the sun coming into your imagination? Look at all the beautiful things that make this place so enjoyable for you. Use your visual creativity of this place for the next several moments. Now, you're going to bring about the sensations this beautiful spot offers. Start by tapping your feet on the ground. Is this a hard surface or a soft one? Feel the ground below you here with your feet, noticing anything you can about it. Become aware of the temperature in this place. Is it cool or warm or hot? Is there a breeze blowing, or is the air calm and still? Can you feel the sun on your skin? Sit with these sensations for a few moments and enjoy them. Are there any smells here? If you're imagining the beach, maybe you can smell the salty air, or if you're in a forest, the smell of nature. Just notice how your sense of smell can create sensations of aromas for you when you put your mind to it. And what about sounds? Bring fully into this experience any sounds that surround you here. Perhaps you can hear a loved one nearby, or perhaps you're alone and can hear the sounds of nature surrounding you. Vividly hear any sounds in this experience. Sit with these sensations activated for a few moments and begin to interact with your environment. To relax even further, become aware of what you're doing here. Are you sitting down and relaxing, or walking around and exploring? Are you doing exactly what you love and want to do? See yourself being completely relaxed and happy here. There's no need to do anything here but relax and enjoy it. Be assured that this place is always here for you to keep you safe if you need to flee from pain. Take another slow and deep breath in. And as you exhale, you feel at complete peace with yourself and all of the sensations in your body. As I speak these words to you, you are changing the mental images associated with your pain. Whenever you feel overwhelmed by the sensations in your body, feel free to repeat this exercise to accept the pain and change the thoughts associated with it. When you use this technique, you will stop the pain from becoming aggravated and growing stronger. When you vividly visualize a safe and peaceful place in moments of distress, you are slowing down your pulse and blood pressure, creating a peaceful and strong connection to your body and your mind. Now, allow yourself to slowly become aware of your surroundings, and whenever you're ready, open your eyes, ready to go about your day peacefully. Namaste.